abandoned rice paddies and demolished villages, over small mountains and through valleys, then along the Han River, and at last to the fortress gates of the capital. The journey was a long one, and I was growing impatient. Suyeon needed me. She was waiting for me there, and I was her only way home. "You had better wait for me, older sister," I rasped, continuing down the dusty road. "I am almost there." Older sister and I had faced horrors before, when royal soldiers killed our parents and we'd escaped to grandmother's home before we could be exiled to an island far away. Grief had strained our already waning bond, rendering us mere strangers living beneath grandmother's roof, our interactions reduced to husks of mumbled remarks and cutting glares. How shocked grandmother must have been when she discovered my note declaring that I'd left to find my missing sister. I was shocked myself. When my heart was far from Suyeon, I had seen her as a sister who was burdened by me and who carried herself with the irritating air of an afflicted martyr. But my heart had clung close to the memories of her during the past 3 frightening days. I no longer saw a sibling I resented, but the girl our parents had adored, the cherished child whom mother had conceived after 8 long years of waiting. And once born, mother and father had showered her with an abundance of love, treasuring her as if she were worth more than a dozen sons. I had cherished her too, when we were younger. She possessed a natural silliness and would entertain me until I broke out into squeals of laughter. She would also assemble scraps of material, fashioning them into whimsical puppets, performing enchanting tales of folklore to me, her delighted audience. I had laughed a great deal as a child because of her. This sister of mine was gone. "Do not die, older sister. Stay alive. You must." I forbade myself from resting, except to pause briefly by a trickling stream. I hadn't eaten since the morning. I'd packed enough for only 2 days, not 3. Scooping up handfuls of water, I drank until my stomach felt heavy, the hunger less excruciating. Then I washed the sweat and grime and tears from my face. Leaning my weight against a rock, I lifted myself back onto my feet, and I was once more on the road. I passed by a rag doll, an abandoned sandal, a leafy plant erupting from a crack in the road. The eerie quiet chilled my skin as I stood before a town as hollowed as a bone. Weeds crawled over shadowy huts, devouring walls and roofs. The streets that had once bustled with crowds, filled with voices and merriment, were now deserted. Families, neighbors, friends, they were all gone. They had either escaped the province in time or remained to guard their homes, only to be slaughtered by the king and his army. I wondered if their ghosts were watching me now. "Why are you here?" I imagined them asking. "This is forbidden territory." The truth was too unbearable to face. I tried to beat it aside, but as I trudged on, my mind sank into the memory of 3 days ago. I was once again the heartless and self-centered Iseul, the younger sister who could not stand to be under the same roof as her older sister. I had run out of the hut after a dreadful argument with her, and it had been my fault. It was always my fault. "I cannot bear her," I had snarled, even as guilt had plagued my conscience. "I wish she had died instead of mother, instead of father." I hadn't meant it, truly, but as though my thoughts had summoned him, King Yeonsan had prowled into our village, the treacherous king who kidnapped women as his pastime, the one who stole the married and the betrothed, the noble daughters and the untouchables alike. He did not discriminate, and my sister, who must have followed me out, was as lovely as an azalea in full bloom. I had no doubt in my mind that His Majesty had taken her. "Halmoni," I whispered, the ghost town now behind me. Raindrops spotted the dusty road, and the mist shrouded the distant mountains in white. "I will find Suyeon, and I won't return home until I do." I trudged through the rain, my head angled against the torrent, and walked until the night thinned into an early morning gray. Beyond exhausted, I wanted to drop